complete the pictogram for the class. So if we look at the key, we can see that a whole face is 2 children and half a face is 1 child. So for blackcurrant, because that's 8 children, we have 2, 4, 6, 8. And then for apple, to show 9 children, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, and then half a face, so that's 9. Now here we have 2, 4, 6, and we can see that grapefruit has 6 children, so this missing label must be grapefruit. For orange, we need to show 10 children, so we can count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then pineapple, we have 2 children. So now, how many children altogether chose the 3 most popular flavours? Well, the most popular flavours will be the flavours chosen by the most children. So that's 10, 9 and 8, because we want the 3 flavours with the most children. Now 10 plus 9 is 19, plus 8 is 27. So 27 children altogether chose the 3 most popular flavours. Here are some shapes. 2 of the shapes are octagons, put a tick on them. So we need to remember that an octagon is a shape with 8 sides. So this shape here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides. So that's not an octagon because an octagon has 8 sides. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides, and a shape with 8 sides is an octagon. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so that's an octagon as well. But here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so that's not an octagon. So our 2 octagons are these shapes here because they have 8 sides. Here are some shapes. Tick the shape that has 3 quarters shaded. So we need to remember that with fractions, the numerator or top number tells us how many we have, and the denominator tells us how many there are altogether. So we need a shape with 3 squares out of 4 shaded. Here we only have 2 out of 4 shaded. Here we have 3 out of 6 squares shaded. Now here we have 3 squares shaded and 4 squares altogether, so that's 3 quarters. Here we have 3 squares shaded but 7 squares altogether, so that's 3 out of 7 or 3 sevenths, not 3 quarters, because we have 7 squares altogether, so the denominator would need to be 7. And here we have 3 out of 3. So our correct answer is this shape here, because we have 3 shaded, so that's a numerator of 3, and we have 4 squares altogether, so that's a denominator of 4. What colour was the second highest number of cards? So let's find the second highest number that we have here. Now the highest number is 18, but then the second highest is 8. But it asks for the colour of car, not for the number. So we need to look across and see that 8 cars were coloured silver. So our answer is silver. Now, which 2 colours of cars were seen the least? So here we need to find the 2 smallest numbers. So the smallest numbers we have here are 3 and 4, but because it asks for the colours of cars, rather than writing 3 and 4 as our answer, we need to write green and blue. Choose 3 of these number cards to make an even number that is greater than 400. So remember, an even number needs to end in 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8. And the only even number we have here is 8, so we need to write 8 as our ones digit. Now we need to arrange the number cards to make a number greater than 400. So that means we need to use the 9 as our hundreds digit, because if we use the 3 or the 1, the number will not be greater than 400. So that means we can use the 3 as our tens digit, or we could use the 1 as our tens digit as well, but as long as we've got the 9 in our hundreds and the 8 in our ones, so that we have an even number greater than 400, we've got the correct answer. Sam put away 1/8 of the washing. Ben put away 2/8 of the washing. Dad put away the rest. What fraction of the washing did Dad put away? So 1/8 and 2/8 makes 3/8 altogether. So we need another 5/8 to make one whole. So that means that Dad put away 5/8 of the washing. On a fraction bar, we can show 1/8 in blue to show what Sam put away, and then we can have 2/8 in red to show what Ben put away. Now we know that Dad put away the rest, so that's this section here, and we can see that we have 5/8 put away by Dad. Sam put away 1/8 and Ben put away 2/8, but all of the washing together can be written as 8/8, because 8/8 is the same as one whole. So when we have a fraction with the same numerator and denominator, that's the same as one whole. So 1/8 plus 2/8 is 3/8, and then we need to add 5/8 to make 8/8 or one whole altogether. So that's the fraction of washing that Dad put away. Zinzi has a rod 15 cubes long. She breaks it into 2 pieces. One piece is 1 cube longer than the other. How many cubes are in each piece? Well, we can have 8 cubes in the longer piece and 7 cubes in the shorter piece. That way we have 15 cubes altogether, because 8 plus 7 is 15, but one piece is 1 cube longer because 8 is 1 more than 7. We can show this with a bar model. So we have a longer piece and a shorter piece, and the longer piece is 1 cube longer. So we can write 1 underneath the longer piece, and then these 2 bars will be the same size. Now there are 15 altogether, so if 1 is here, that means that 14 will need to be in these 2 bars altogether. And because they're the same, we can divide 14 by 2, and that's 7, because 7 times 2 is 14, so we have 7 in these bars here. So now underneath the longer piece, we have 1 and 7, so that's 8, and underneath the shorter piece, we have 7. Write a number in each box to make this correct. So what times what equals 20? Well, 5 times 4 is 20, and with multiplication, order doesn't matter, so 4 times 5 is 20 as well. 10 times 2 is 20, and so is 2 times 10. And we could also have 20 times 1, because when you multiply a number by 1, it stays the same. And again, we could switch these around, so 1 times 20 is 20 as well. Circle the biggest fraction. We have 1/6, 1/4, 1/3, and 1/5. So we have a numerator of 1, a numerator that's the same for all of our fractions. So we can compare these fractions just by looking at the denominators. But we need to remember, the larger the denominator, the smaller the fraction, and the smaller the denominator, the larger the fraction will be if the numerators are the same. So our biggest fraction is 1/3. And if we show fraction bars for 1/6, 1/4, 1/3, and 1/5, we can see that 1/3 takes up the most space. That's because if the denominator is smaller, then the fraction bar hasn't been split into as many pieces, so each piece is larger, and that's why the smaller the denominator, the larger the fraction, or the larger each piece of the fraction will be. Write in the missing number. We have 60 plus 99 plus something equals 340. So first, let's work out 60 plus 99. 99 is 1 less than 100, so 60 plus 100 is 160, and 1 less than that is 159. Or we could use column method to get the same answer. So now 159 plus something equals 340. So we have a missing number addition, and whenever we have a missing number addition problem, we can always subtract to find our missing number. So we can work out 340 minus 159, and that will give us our missing number. So we can use column subtraction, and we get 181 as our missing number.